Hello and welcome everybody to the 8th episode of a show about basketball. I don't have a guest today. I haven't uploaded in a minute. There's been 3 games, I believe, since I last uploaded. If you want to hear my thoughts or any MFFL's thoughts on the Clippers, Kings, and Bucks game, be sure to check out the Hoops and Hefeweizens podcast. We all definitely talked about it plenty on there. Yesterday we played the Portland Trail Blazers, and Damian Lillard definitely saw my tweet where I said that he is just Mario Chalmers with a green light. Obviously, I shouldn't have disrespected two-time NBA champion Mario Chalmers that way, because until Dame proves to me that he is a Game 7 player past the first round, I'm always going to see him as just a scorer. I know he's great. He's definitely an All-NBA player. He's had his best year. There's no doubt about it. But last night specifically, and he doesn't do this often, so I will give him this credit. This does not happen to Dame often. He got about every call you could ask for. I'm not going to harp on the refs too much because there's only so much harping you can do on the refs, but there were 3 really bad calls. Obviously, the charge on Trey Burke was just god-awful, but I mean, there was some room on that one. All blocks are charges, all charges are blocks, so I can't really blame him for that one. I can't really blame anyone for that one. The 2 that were really, really stupid, though, were the very, very first foul on Kristaps Porzingis with 2 minutes into the game. Like, the dude laid a pinky on Dame, and they called it just because the NBA wants to see the Blazers in the play-in tournament and in the playoffs so bad that they will just blow the whistle at anything. And then the foul that fouled Kristaps out, that even got reviewed and still got him fouled out, was, I mean, the dumbest fucking call I've ever seen. Like, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it does make sense to me. The NBA wants the Blazers to make it. So I don't know what I expected, but yeah, I don't want to dwell on the game too much. Luka played outstanding. Trey Burke had a great game, but Kristaps was the best player in the whole game. He didn't have to get fouled every possession to get his points. He earned them. Let's see. Yeah, Kristaps goes 12 of 17, 70% from the floor, 78% from 3. Oh, that's ridiculous. Maxey came up big in the stretch. He was the only bench scoring that we had. Bobby barely played. Kid Gilchrist played amazing defense. I have no words for Justin Jackson. I don't know why you put Justin Jackson on the 15th all-time leading scorer, Carmelo Anthony, and expect a different result than him, other than him getting just bodied every single time. It's really embarrassing when we play guys that belong in the G League in crunch time minutes when we need to win. This isn't a game we needed to win. We're cemented in 7th anyway. This was the game where we can show, these lesser playoff teams, these teams that are fighting for 8th, that, hey, we are way better than you. And when you play a guy who should be in the G League and put him on a Hall of Famer, you're kind of showing everybody that you don't really have any real depth on your team. I mentioned earlier Trey Burke got a start, which is awesome. I've been vouching for Trey Burke to start since he got re-signed on the team. I think that this will eventually lead to Seth Curry coming off the bench, which is great for Tim Hardaway. It's great for Trey Burke. It's great for everybody involved. Trey Burke, I think he had 5 assists in the first, if not 5 assists. He definitely had 5 assists early in the game. I don't know if it was all in the first, but it was well before halftime when he had 5 assists. And I think that's something that him having the ball in his hands, him having the ability to create for others, is something that Seth can't do. Not trying to say Seth is a better basketball player. I would take Seth over Trey Burke in any facet, in any way, shape, or form. I would take Seth Curry over Trey Burke. But that putting someone on the bench, having someone lead your second unit, doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. That means that you value them more probably than any guy who you can just plug into your starting lineup. Which is why I vouch for DeLon Wright to start also. But I changed my mind on that one after seeing how he's playing this bubble. I'm going to reiterate again, my last episode was all about free agency in the bubble. Dalton Trigg and I are going to talk soon about players that aren't in the bubble and then other players that I missed that are in the bubble that we could add on to this team for depth and for leadership, which is I think that's what we need the most. I think we have one of the better starting fives in the NBA if you just leave everything as is, but depth and veteran leadership is what this team needs to go look for this summer, fall, whatever it is. Before I go on any further about the Mavs, I want to apologize to the Phoenix Suns. I did not know that y'all were gonna do this. In the preview bubble episode, in the play-in episode with Bibbs, I said something along the lines of, I'm not worried about the Suns, Kings, or Spurs because I don't think they have a chance. Now we're sitting here sitting here August 12th, and the Suns we play the Suns tomorrow. And, if they win and one of Memphis or Portland loses tomorrow, which they might, then Phoenix nabs one of those play-in spots. And I did some digging. The beginning of the year, I don't know if anyone remembers, Phoenix started really hot. They started 7-4. I think they got through 8 games, maybe not even that, and DeAndre Ayton got a suspension. As soon as he came back, though, they started balling again. They have now won 10 of their last 11 games, including wins against us, Milwaukee, before the bubble, Milwaukee, and they beat the Clippers. Devin Booker beat the Clippers, hit a buzzer beater in Kawhi and Paul George's face, as a matter of fact. And then they've gone on and beat a lot of teams have been resting their players against them in Philadelphia and Oklahoma City specifically, and I think Jimmy Butler didn't play against them either. But that's not to discredit anything they've done, because they've taken, hey guys, you virtually have to win every single game, and they've done it. And if they can beat us tomorrow, which I expect them to, but the Mavs always win the games I expect them to lose, and vice versa. So who knows how it'll actually end up. But if they show up tomorrow the way they've been playing the whole rest of the bubble, then I really want the Suns to play the Lakers in the first round. Obviously, I still want the Grizzlies to make it, just because that's where my guys play. And I don't want to see greenlit Mario Chalmers playing against LeBron. If you know me, you know I'm a big LeBron guy. You know I'm a big Anthony Davis guy. I want them to have the easiest route to the second round as they can possibly get, and I'm not afraid to admit it. That's just I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting that. And I would also, as much as I want to see the Grizzlies make it, I couldn't really care less about playoff experience if Jaren's not there. I still want it for Ja. I still want it for Valanciunas. I still want it for the rest of the team, even though I don't think a lot of them will be back next year. I still want them to make it. But all that being said, seeing Devin Booker finally get to play in the playoffs after 5 years of being on the Suns, they will be exciting to watch. I don't think they even would win 2 games against the Lakers, but I think them even making the playoffs is their championship. And it's, if you go back and listen to the State of the League podcast I did with Josh Gamble before the year started, I said the Suns were going to be a fringe playoff team because they're battling with us, because Rubio has been on a Utah Jazz team the last 2 years that has been a playoff performing team. And Rubio, maybe his career didn't go the way everyone thought, but he's definitely improved every year, and he's a guy that can lead your offense, and he's gone into Phoenix and completely turned everything around there. and I respect him. I respect him a ton for that. So my next episode, after the game tomorrow against Phoenix, I am recording with app protected pick Mike Virgil. Oh God, I hope I didn't say that wrong. But he's the, if you've been on Twitter at all the last 2 days, he's the guy who created the Mikal Bridges trend, and rightfully so, because Mikal Bridges is, I can't believe he slipped as far as he did. I can't believe Philadelphia traded him, but you know, Phoenix did what they did, and James Jones pulled a rabbit out of the hat there, and absolutely snagged one of the best wing players in the bubble right now, and it's only his second year, so it's going to be really interesting to see. As far as a Clippers preview, I want to get as many MFFLs as I can on that episode. So Don, Thomas, Squish, Bryce, Tim, if you're listening, stop lollygagging and get on my show. And I think that's all I have for you. Hopefully we get some good basketball on this last Thursday, and hopefully we get a nice little play-in tournament for the weekend before the playoffs start, man. And it's gonna be really exciting to see. I can't believe it's August, and I'm anticipating playoff basketball. And then right after that, I can't believe I'm going to be into. I'm already looking forward to free agency, so that's where my priorities are right now. Although it is going to be fun. I mean, it sucks. We're probably going to be out in the first round, but the fact that our guys, KP and Luka and Dorian and Tim, are all going to get their first shred of playoff experience against the Clippers, Kawhi and Leonard and Paul George is you couldn't ask for anything better. The only thing better you could have asked for is LeBron and AD, but I think LeBron and AD might just knock us silly and sweep us if we played them, and I think the Clippers might still do it. But at least with the Clippers, you feel like you're getting we're gonna play a different version of the Clippers than we played all year. Like when we played them on the 21st, they didn't have Paul George. When we played them this time around in the bubble, I think they weren't even at full strength. They didn't have Trez. I don't remember if Pat Bev played. But I know they didn't have Trez, and I mean Paul George and Kawhi are going to do their things, of course. This time around, I don't expect I don't expect JaMychal Green, Zubac, and whoever the other, Morris. I don't expect those guys to just absolutely annihilate us. But when you have nothing, when you have no post defense at all besides Maxey, who switches a lot, and KP, who gets in foul trouble every time he puts his hands up, it's kind of tough to really stop any of those guys, any of the role players for any team, or their stars for that matter. Thank you guys for listening. I will see y'all on Friday or Saturday, and have a great day.